One of the ways to go from freelance copywriter and start earning more money using the copywriting skills is to set up a small agency. Hi, I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. If you want to increase your earnings while expanding your ability to serve clients, a small agency may be the right path. So you could do more work as a freelance copywriter or freelance SEO or freelance marketing, and you can take on the volume of new work in order to earn more, but it doesn't always work well because you have a limited number of hours each day. Also, many of the platforms that get you started in the world of copywriting, in the world of marketing, in the world of email marketing or search engine marketing, many of these platforms are very competitive because a lot of folks cannot do math. So the most important thing to understand when you approach going from a freelancer to a agency, you have to understand the math. So whatever it is that you need to earn, are you optimizing your current strategy to earn what you need to earn? So for example, I'm working with somebody right now who's in the Philippines, and the numbers for the Philippines give me a median salary of $12,900 a year. Now, as I've talked about in my other newsletters, my goal for you is for you to earn 3 times the median salary. You can take the average salary or the median salary, it doesn't matter. Whichever one is higher, you should be earning 3 times that. So if you're a freelance copywriter right now and you're supposed to be making $38,000 a year as a take-home amount of money, and you're not able to do that, creating an agency is not going to help you. Okay, you need to have sales funnels to bring in new clients. You need to have packaged services so that you can not have to negotiate prices every time. You can just offer a package. You need to be going direct to clients so that they're not seeing you in an environment where you're charging $5 an hour and someone next to you is charging $1.50 because they're taking the loss leader to get into the market, and the marketplace has thousands of people like that. No, you want to be in front of people who want to pay you $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $50 an hour. You have to understand what your multiplier is. Your multiplier is for every dollar you need to earn to pay your expenses, to save, to have health insurance, to take care of your family, to make sure kids' tuition's paid for. All of those details have to have a factor before you bill them out, because there's also going to be taxes and overhead. And as you get more business, you need to have more reserves in place to build an agency. Now, I don't want to discourage you, but again, this math is necessary. So if you need to earn what is equivalent to $19.45 an hour, okay, in the United States, you want to go with a $15 minimum wage because that's what everybody's talking about. Or you can go to the living wage calculator and see that a family of 2 needs $27 an hour. Whatever the number is, you need to multiply that by some kind of multiple, because in order to get to that $19 net, which is representing your income, your take-home income, or the profit of the business, you might have to multiply that by 5. Because you've got taxes, overhead, health insurance. If you're gonna run an agency and it's customary to provide child care expenses for employees, you've got to factor that in as well. Now, when you factor these things in, you have to ask the question, what can I offer clients that has the value to clients where what they pay me is not even worried about? So if you're going to charge them $36 an hour, or actually 19 times 5 is $95 an hour. If you're going to charge them $95 an hour, then you need to provide something of value that's going to be worth more than that $95. So I would say a 10 times multiplier, 100 times multiplier. So let's say you do an hour of work, you're charging them $95. It needs to be worth $950 to the client. So you're going to develop a package, some kind of service, and because it's a package, you're going to have an idea how long it's going to take, because if you're charging dollars for hours, then you're eventually going to run out of hours in the course of the day. So you need to be selling the value. If I were to offer you something that's worth $950 and all you had to do is pay me today $95, And I could demonstrate to you that this $95 is in exchange for the $950. Customers don't object to that. There's just no way to complain about that. Now, again, if you're on a platform that's attracting people that care only about the dollars per hour, if you say to somebody, hey, I got a project, it's going to take about a week to complete. The duration is a week. It's $950. And you are... when I do this for you, it's going to be worth $10,000 to your business. Let's get started. If they say, well, how many hours is it going to take? Or can I pay you by the hour? All that stuff tells you that you got the wrong client. Because really, when you build a packaged service, that package, you can say, okay, here's the scope of work we're going to do. Here's the package we're delivering. And then the customer can negotiate things in and out of that package, but that price is fixed. And then if they go beyond a certain number of service hours, then there is an inflated hourly rate that carries the remaining work. So for example, I run a podcast. It'd be really useful if someone just went through all my profiles on all these podcast syndication platforms and made sure the profiles correctly reference the other platforms where my content is. So for example, on Reason.fm, they're asking about my podcast at Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. My podcast is on those other channels, and somebody just needs to come in here and paste the link to cross-reference this to make sure my profile is up to date. If my profile changes, maybe I have changing the descriptive, they'll go out and change all the descriptives. So the package would be profile management or LinkedIn profile management. Again, it could be in the LinkedIn platform where you're focusing on just one platform. It could be podcasting profile management where you're going to make sure their content syndicates on all platforms and then is properly cross-referenced and the profiles all link back to the right websites. That profile, that project will have a process to it. It'll have a certain number of steps. It'll have a certain amount of duration that it takes to get done. You'll be able to calculate how much it'll cost you in paying somebody to do the work or paying yourself to do the work. You can calculate how much it's going to cost in order to cover your taxes, and then you can put a price on it. Now, if that price is too high in the marketplace, meaning nobody wants to pay $9,000 to have their profiles updated, then you've got to adjust. You have something to work with to adjust. Again, going from a freelancer all by yourself, limited number of hours in a day, to an agency is the best way to start getting some passive income, because you could actually have people like you who don't have the skills of marketing, who don't have the ability to get clients, actually do the work for you. And then you shift to management or quality assurance or finisher and get more work done. So one of the things that I do, rather than having sometimes I'll have a bunch of staff together, but I'll bring people together for specific projects. So I'll get a 6 to 18 months project with a client. I'll bring in a team to work that project. I'll usually deliver my subject matter expertise, but I might bring on other people to do the subject matter expertise. Now, if you're going to go from a freelancer, packaging your product so it makes your job easier, because you could do project A for somebody and then offer them as follow-on project B. And those are pre-packaged projects. They have procedures, they have sales sheets, they have everything that they need to present to a prospect. This saves you time, this saves you effort. It'll start increasing your income. At the point where you start having a backlog as a freelancer, that's when you start bringing on subcontractors who are going to do draft materials, research. They're going to do editing for you. I don't transcribe my own audio. I send it away to someplace, they transcribe it, and send me back a Word document, which is basically what I said, all nice and neat in a Word document. You've got to be thinking about that kind of syndication. You got to be thinking about that kind of connection of work product. And you do it through optimizing your freelance work, creating a small agency. Now, that small agency could literally be you, an assistant, somebody who's managing the calendar and scheduling your consultations, and then a pool of freelancers that come in to do different things. Once you start getting into higher rates, it's very difficult to have a generalist do that work. So as you start getting into higher rate work or more specialized work like email marketing, you're going to have an email marketing specialist that you'll go to bring that person on to do that type of work. And then you're going to get a cut of what they're earning. You're going to collect all the money, handle all the overhead, own the relationship with the customer, but ultimately become a matchmaker. That's the only way to start getting residual income without licensing agreements, without other factors that require a direct relationship with the client. And it's actually very rewarding because you can build up a team of 20, 30, 40 people who are out there 80, 90% billable, driving value to your customer base, doing it within the guidelines you set. So they're implementing these packages that you designed, and then you are going to QA and then close out the work. So you're going to basically open the customer relationship, manage the staff on the work, close the customer relationship, and set up what's next for the customer. This is an area where a lot of people have questions, but it's the only way to really go from maybe $100,000 a year in US dollar earnings to having that money come with less hours. So you can bust your ass 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get to that 100K. But if you want to get past that, you're going to have an agency. You're going to have administrative staff. You're going to have somebody else doing your bookkeeping. You're going to have other people on that come in as specialists to support different types of activities, because you really don't want to be a generalist. Generalists get paid very little, but that kind of work is great feeder for the other things. So how do you break that parity of chicken before the egg parity? Well, you do it by cultivating your freelance work till it's systematic, then starting to bring on junior level staff that are going to backfill a lot of your work, and then start selling the labor of your junior level and even senior level staff under an agency model. If you've got more questions about this, I'm Justin Hitt from Ad Briefings Copywriting Tips. You can visit us at www.adbriefings.co.uk. We're here to help you earn more than a living with words that sell. Thanks for listening. Bye.